Hello, my beautiful friend. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now. Just breathe in slowly and let it out gently. Feel yourself settling into this moment, into this space we're sharing together. I'm so glad you're here. There's something truly magical about this time in life, isn't there? When we've moved beyond the halfway mark, when we've crossed that bridge into our 50s and beyond, something begins to shift. It's as if life itself is whispering to us, inviting us to slow down, to savor, to finally breathe. And yet, I know that for many people, this invitation can feel confusing, even frightening. After decades of rushing, achieving, caring for others, and pushing forward, the idea of slowing down might feel foreign or even wrong. I want you to know that if you're feeling this way, you're not alone. If you've been carrying the weight of productivity and constant motion for so long that stillness feels uncomfortable, I understand. If you've been so busy taking care of everyone else that you've forgotten how to take care of yourself, I see you. If you're wondering who you are when you're not rushing toward the next goal, the next responsibility, the next should or must, I honor exactly where you are right now. This is your time, darling. This is your season for something different, something deeper, something that feeds your soul in ways you may have forgotten were possible. The world has been asking so much of you for so long, and now it's time to ask yourself what you truly want. What would bring you joy? What would make your heart sing? What would help you feel truly alive and present in your own beautiful life? I've spent many years of my own life learning that love begins with loving ourselves, and that healing happens when we finally give ourselves permission to be exactly who we are. And I've discovered that there's something particularly precious about this time after 55. It's as if all the lessons we've learned, all the strength we've built, all the wisdom we've gathered, finally comes together to create this beautiful opportunity for authentic living. You don't have to earn your worth anymore. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You've already done so much, been so much, given so much. Now it's time to receive. It's time to enjoy. It's time to slow down and taste the sweetness of your own life. The beautiful truth is that slowing down isn't giving up. It's waking up. It's finally paying attention to the life you're actually living instead of the life you think you should be living. It's choosing presence over productivity, depth over speed, quality over quantity. And when we make this choice, something wonderful happens. We start to notice things we've been missing. We start to feel things we've been too busy to feel. We start to enjoy things we've been too rushed to appreciate. Your body has been trying to tell you this for a while now, hasn't it? Those moments when you feel tired, not just physically tired, but soul tired. Those times when you catch yourself longing for something you can't quite name. Those quiet whispers from within that suggest maybe there's a different way to live. Your wise body, your intuitive heart, your knowing spirit, they've all been gently guiding you toward this realization that it's time for something new. This isn't about becoming lazy or disconnected from life. This is about becoming more alive, more present, more authentically yourself than you've ever been. This is about finally giving yourself permission to live at a pace that honors your energy, your needs, your desires. This is about discovering what brings you genuine joy and making space for more of that in your daily life. So as we begin this journey together, I want you to know that you're exactly where you need to be. You're exactly the right age to start living differently. You're exactly wise enough to trust your own inner guidance. And you're exactly worthy enough to create a life that feels good to you, not just a life that looks good to others. Now, let's talk about what's really happening when life begins calling us to slow down. There's something profound occurring, something that goes much deeper than simply getting older. The truth is, your soul is speaking to you. After decades of external focus, after years of meeting deadlines and fulfilling obligations and caring for others, Your inner wisdom is finally strong enough to make itself heard above all the noise. This call to slow down isn't a sign that you're losing your edge or becoming less capable. It's actually a sign that you're becoming more wise, more discerning, more connected to what truly matters. Think about it like this. When we're younger, we often move through life like we're at a busy market, trying to see everything, buy everything, experience everything all at once. But as we mature, we begin to move through life more like we're in a beautiful art gallery, wanting to really see each piece, to appreciate its beauty, to let it touch us deeply. Your nervous system, which has been in go mode for so many years, is ready for something different. It's ready for the healing that comes with slower rhythms. It's ready for the nourishment that comes with gentler paces. It's ready for the restoration that happens when we finally stop forcing ourselves to move faster than feels natural. And here's what I've learned about the body's wisdom. When we fight against this natural slowing down, when we try to maintain the same frantic pace we had in our 30s and 40s, we create stress and resistance in our systems. But when we honor this call to slow down, when we work with our natural rhythms instead of against them, we often find that we have more energy, not less. We discover that we can accomplish what truly matters without the exhaustion and overwhelm we used to carry. There's also something beautiful happening in your brain during this time. The urgency that once drove you, the constant worry about future security, the need to prove yourself over and over again, these patterns are naturally beginning to soften. Your brain is literally rewiring itself for more peace, more presence, more appreciation of simple pleasures. Scientists call this the aging brain's shift toward positivity, but I like to think of it as wisdom finally having space to emerge. This is why you might find yourself caring less about things that used to stress you greatly. This is why you might notice yourself feeling less tolerant of drama, less interested in gossip, less willing to spend time on activities that drain your energy. Your inner wisdom is helping you naturally prioritize what feeds your soul and release what depletes it. The call to slow down is also your heart's way of asking for more connection, not more busy social obligations, but more meaningful moments with people you truly care about, not more surface-level conversations, but deeper sharing with those who really see you. Not more activities to fill your calendar, but more space to actually feel your feelings and process your experiences. When we slow down, we create room for gratitude to grow. We start noticing the small miracles that happen every day. The way morning light falls across the kitchen table, the sound of rain on the roof, the feeling of soft sheets against our skin, the taste of really good coffee or tea. These simple pleasures have always been available to us, but we've been moving too fast to really receive them. This slower pace also allows us to finally process some of the experiences we've been carrying. When we're constantly rushing from one thing to the next, our emotional experiences get stored in our bodies without being fully felt or integrated. But when we slow down, we create space for healing, for feeling, for releasing what no longer serves us. Your body is so wise, and it's been keeping track of everything. Every stress you've carried, every emotion you've pushed down, every time you've prioritized others' needs over your own. And now, in this gentler season of life, your body is finally ready to help you release and heal and come home to yourself. The truth is, we live in a culture that worships speed and productivity, but your soul operates on a different timeline. Your soul is interested in depth, not speed. Your soul wants to savor, not rush. Your soul knows that the best things in life unfold slowly, like a flower opening to the sun. Let me take a moment to honor the incredible journey you've been on. Look at everything you've accomplished, everything you've survived, everything you've learned. Look at the strength you've built, the love you've given, the challenges you've overcome. Look at the way you've grown and changed and adapted through all the seasons of your life. You've probably spent decades focusing on what you haven't done yet, what you still need to achieve, what you think you should have accomplished by now. But I want to invite you to pause and really see what you have done. You've lived through so many experiences. You've loved people, even when it was difficult. You've shown up for life, even when you didn't feel ready. You've kept going, even when you felt like giving up. You've learned how to comfort a crying child, how to solve problems under pressure, how to make difficult decisions with incomplete information. You've figured out how to manage a household, how to navigate relationships, how to handle disappointment and loss. You've developed skills and talents and abilities that you might not even recognize because they've become so natural to you. But beyond all the practical things you've accomplished, look at the emotional growth you've experienced. You've learned about love and loss, about hope and disappointment, about fear and courage. You've discovered things about yourself that you never knew when you were younger. You've developed compassion through your own struggles. You've gained perspective through your own experiences. You've survived every difficult day you've ever had, every heartbreak, every setback, every moment when you thought you couldn't go on. You did. You found a way through. You kept breathing, kept moving, kept believing in something better. That's not small. That's actually extraordinary. And yet I know that many people carry a voice inside that says it's not enough. That voice that says you should have done more, been more, achieved more by now. That voice that compares your real life to other people's highlight reels. That voice that focuses on regrets instead of celebrating resilience. I want you to know that voice isn't telling you the truth. That voice comes from old programming, from messages you received about having to earn your worth through accomplishment. But your worth was never something you had to earn. Your worth is inherent. You are valuable simply because you exist, simply because you're here, simply because you're you. The beautiful thing about this stage of life is that you finally have enough life experience to see patterns, to understand cause and effect, to recognize your own growth. You can look back and see how things that seemed like disasters at the time actually led to important growth or positive changes. You can see how your struggles developed your character and your compassion. You can see how your mistakes taught you valuable lessons. This perspective is a gift that only comes with time. When we're younger, we can't see the bigger picture. We're too close to our daily dramas, too caught up in immediate concerns. But now you have the gift of perspective. You can see how life has been working for you, even when it didn't feel like it at the time. You've also accumulated so much wisdom about what really matters and what doesn't. You know now that most of the things you used to worry about never actually happened. You know that many of the things you thought were so important turned out to be less significant than you believed. You know that relationships matter more than achievements, that peace matters more than productivity, that joy matters more than judgment. This wisdom is precious. It's earned through living, through experiencing, through paying attention to how life actually works. You couldn't have learned these things from books or advice. You had to live them, feel them, integrate them through your own experience. You've also developed a kind of emotional intelligence that only comes with time. You know yourself better now. You know what energizes you and what drains you. You know what kinds of people and situations bring out your best self and which ones trigger your old wounds. You know what you need to feel balanced and centered and at peace. This self-knowledge is incredibly valuable. It means you can make better choices now. You can say yes to things that truly align with who you are and no to things that don't. You can create a life that actually fits you instead of trying to fit yourself into a life that doesn't feel right. And this brings us to something truly beautiful about this stage of life. The opportunity to discover what self-love really means when you're older and wiser. For so many years, you might have thought self-love meant taking bubble baths or buying yourself flowers. And while those things can be lovely, real self-love goes so much deeper. Real self-love at this stage of life means honoring the woman or man you've become. It means respecting your own needs and boundaries. It means speaking to yourself with the same kindness you would show a dear friend. When we're younger, we often practice self-love as a way to fix ourselves, to become better, to improve who we are. But now, self-love becomes about accepting who you already are. It's about looking in the mirror and seeing someone who has lived, who has experienced, who has grown, and saying, "I love you exactly as you are right now." Not, "I'll love you when you lose weight," or "I'll love you when you accomplish more," or "I'll love you when you fix all your flaws." I love you now, in this moment, with all your beautiful imperfections and your hard-earned wisdom. This kind of self-love means finally letting go of the impossible standards you've been carrying. Those voices that say you should look younger, be more energetic, accomplish more, be perfect in every way. Those voices that compare you to who you used to be or to people who are in different seasons of life. Self-love at this stage means recognizing that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, exactly who you're supposed to be, exactly the right age you're supposed to be. It also means becoming your own best advocate instead of your own worst critic. For so many years, you might have had a running commentary in your head pointing out everything you're doing wrong, everything you should be doing differently, everything you're not enough of. But self-love means changing that internal dialogue. It means catching yourself when you're being harsh and choosing to speak more gently. It means asking yourself, "What do I need right now?" instead of "What should I be doing right now?" Real self-love at this stage often means setting boundaries that you never felt comfortable setting before. It means saying no to obligations that drain you, even if other people don't understand. It means choosing to spend your time and energy on things that truly matter to you instead of things you think you should care about. It means being selective about who gets access to your precious life force. You might find that self-love now means spending less time with people who consistently make you feel bad about yourself, even if they're family members or old friends. It means choosing conversations that uplift you over conversations that drain you. It means being around people who see your value, who appreciate your wisdom, who enjoy your company without expecting you to be anyone other than who you are. Self-love also means honoring your natural rhythms instead of forcing yourself to operate on schedules that don't feel right for your body and soul. It means resting when you need to rest, even if the world says you should be busy. It means eating foods that make you feel good, wearing clothes that make you feel comfortable, creating an environment that brings you peace. But perhaps most importantly, self-love at this stage means forgiving yourself for all the ways you think you've fallen short. Forgiving yourself for the mistakes you've made, the opportunities you think you've missed, the times you weren't perfect. Forgiving yourself for not knowing then what you know now. Forgiving yourself for being human, for learning as you went, for doing the best you could with what you had at the time. This forgiveness isn't just nice to have, it's essential for your well-being. When we carry guilt and regret and self-criticism, it creates tension in our bodies and clouds in our minds. But when we practice genuine self-forgiveness, we free up so much energy that was tied up in the past. We create space for joy and peace and presence in our current lives. Self-love now also means trusting yourself in ways you might not have felt safe to do when you were younger. Trusting your intuition about people and situations. Trusting your body's signals about what it needs. Trusting your heart's desires about how you want to spend your time. You have so much more experience now to draw from, so much more wisdom to guide your choices. Along with this deeper understanding of self-love comes the beautiful gift of simplicity. And I want to be clear about what I mean by simplicity, because it's not about living in poverty or depriving yourself of things you enjoy. True simplicity is about clarity. It's about knowing what matters to you and letting go of what doesn't. It's about creating space in your life for what brings you joy by releasing what brings you stress. When we're younger, we often think that more is better. More activities, more possessions, more commitments, more options. We collect things and experiences and relationships, sometimes without really considering whether they add value to our lives. But as we mature, we begin to understand that less can actually be more. Less clutter means more peace. Less rushing means more presence. Less obligation means more choice. This isn't about becoming a minimalist if that doesn't appeal to you. This is about becoming intentional. It's about looking at your life and asking, does this serve me? Does this bring me joy? Does this align with who I am now? And if the answer is no, it's about having the courage to let it go. Simplicity might mean clearing out closets full of clothes that no longer fit your body or your lifestyle. It might mean letting go of books you'll never read again or kitchen gadgets you never use. It might mean donating items that once had meaning but no longer bring you joy. This physical clearing often creates an emotional clearing too. When our external environment is simpler, our internal experience often becomes more peaceful. But simplicity goes beyond just physical possessions. It's also about simplifying your schedule, your commitments, your social obligations. It's about recognizing that you don't have to say yes to every invitation, attend every event, or maintain every relationship at the same level of intensity you once did. You can choose to invest your time and energy in fewer things, but experience them more deeply. Simplicity also means simplifying your goals and expectations. Instead of having a long list of things you think you should accomplish, you might choose one or two things that really matter to you and focus on those. Instead of trying to be everything to everyone, you might choose to be authentically yourself with the people who truly appreciate you. There's something so freeing about this approach to life. When you stop trying to do everything, be everything, have everything, you can finally start enjoying what you actually have. When you stop rushing from one thing to the next, you can start savoring the experience you're actually in. When you stop accumulating more and more, you can start appreciating what's already in your life. This shift towards simplicity often brings unexpected gifts. You might discover that you actually prefer quiet evenings at home to busy social events. You might find that you enjoy cooking simple meals with fresh ingredients more than elaborate dinner parties. You might realize that a walk in nature brings you more joy than expensive entertainment. The beautiful thing about embracing simplicity is that it helps you distinguish between what you think you want and what you actually want. So much of our wanting comes from external messages about what should make us happy. But when we slow down and simplify, we can finally hear our own authentic desires beneath all that noise. Your body has been your faithful companion through every experience of your life, and now it's speaking to you with even more wisdom. The beautiful truth is that your body knows exactly what it needs to feel good, to be healthy, to experience vitality. But for many years, you might have been too busy to listen, too focused on external demands to pay attention to internal signals. Now is the perfect time to develop a new relationship with your body, one based on respect and partnership rather than criticism and control. Your body has carried you through decades of living. It has housed your heart through every love and every loss. It has been strong when you needed strength and resilient when you needed healing. Instead of focusing on how it might be changing or what it can't do anymore, What if you appreciated it for all it has done and continues to do? This means paying attention to your energy levels throughout the day and honoring them instead of fighting them. If you naturally feel more energetic in the morning, plan your most important activities for then. If you need a rest in the afternoon, take it without guilt. If you sleep better when you go to bed earlier, allow yourself that gift. Your body's rhythms might be different now than they were 20 years ago, and that's perfectly natural and healthy. Listening to your body's wisdom also means noticing how different foods make you feel and choosing more of what energizes you and less of what weighs you down. It might mean drinking more water because you notice you feel better when you're well hydrated. It might mean moving in ways that feel good rather than forcing yourself through exercise routines that feel like punishment. Your body is also constantly giving you information about your emotional state. Tension in your shoulders might be telling you that you're carrying stress about something. Tightness in your chest might be alerting you to anxiety. Fatigue might be your body's way of saying you need more rest or that you're giving too much of your energy to others. When you learn to listen to these signals with compassion instead of judgment, you can respond to your body's needs before small issues become bigger problems. You can rest before you become exhausted. You can address stress before it overwhelms your system. You can nourish yourself before you become depleted. This also means being gentle with yourself about the natural changes that come with aging. Your body might not move as quickly as it once did, but it might move with more wisdom. Your energy might feel different, but it might also feel more focused. Your sleep patterns might have changed, but you might be sleeping more peacefully when you do rest. The mind-body connection becomes even more important as we age. The thoughts you think and the emotions you feel have a direct impact on your physical well-being. When you're constantly stressed or worried, your body produces chemicals that create inflammation and tension. But when you're peaceful and content, your body produces chemicals that promote healing and relaxation. This is why practices like meditation, gentle movement, time in nature, and activities that bring you joy aren't just nice luxuries, they're essential for your health. When you do things that make you feel good emotionally, you're literally supporting your physical well-being too. Your body also needs different kinds of care now than it did when you were younger. It might need more gentle stretching to stay flexible. It might need more nutritious food to maintain energy. It might need more regular checkups to catch small issues early. But most importantly, it needs your love and appreciation instead of your criticism and judgment. Creating a new daily rhythm that honors this stage of your life is one of the most loving gifts you can give yourself. This isn't about following someone else's perfect morning routine or copying what works for other people. This is about discovering what makes your own heart sing, what helps your body feel good, what brings peace to your mind and joy to your spirit. Your new rhythm might look completely different from what you thought it would, and that's perfectly wonderful. You might discover that you love waking up early to watch the sunrise with your coffee, or you might find that you're naturally a night person who does your best thinking in the evening hours. You might love starting your day with gentle movement, or you might prefer beginning with quiet reflection or reading something inspiring. The key is to pay attention to how different activities make you feel and to build your days around what truly nourishes you. This might mean setting aside time each morning to simply sit quietly and check in with yourself. How are you feeling today? What does your body need? What would bring you joy? This simple practice of morning self-awareness can help you make choices throughout the day that honor your authentic needs. You might also create rituals that help you transition from one part of your day to another. A few minutes of deep breathing before you start your day. A cup of tea and a moment of gratitude before lunch. A short walk or some gentle stretches in the afternoon. A peaceful evening routine that helps you wind down and prepare for restful sleep. These don't have to be elaborate or time-consuming. Even 5 minutes of intentional presence can shift your entire experience of the day. The goal isn't to create another set of obligations for yourself. The goal is to weave moments of peace and joy and self-care throughout your day so that you're not just surviving your life, but actually enjoying it. Part of creating this new rhythm is learning to plan less and allow more. Instead of filling every moment with activities and obligations, you might choose to leave spaces in your day for spontaneity, for rest, for simply being present with whatever arises. This kind of spaciousness allows life to surprise you, allows opportunities for joy and connection to appear naturally. You might also discover that your energy and attention work better when you focus on one thing at a time instead of multitasking. When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. When you talk with a friend, just be present for that conversation. This kind of mindful presence often makes everything more enjoyable and satisfying. Your new daily rhythm might also include regular check-ins with yourself about what's working and what isn't. Are you feeling energized or depleted? Are you enjoying your activities or just going through the motions? Are you making time for things that matter to you, or are you still caught up in old patterns of rushing and pushing? As you create these new rhythms, you'll also find yourself naturally reevaluating your relationships and the boundaries you keep with different people in your life. This stage of life often brings a beautiful clarity about who truly supports and appreciates you, and who still expects you to be someone you no longer want to be. You might find that some relationships naturally become less central to your life, not because you don't care about these people, but because you're no longer willing to spend your precious energy on interactions that consistently leave you feeling drained or criticized or misunderstood. This isn't about cutting people off or being unkind. This is about being honest about how different relationships affect your well-being and making conscious choices about where you invest your time and emotional energy. At the same time, you might find yourself drawn more deeply into relationships with people who truly see and appreciate you. People who enjoy your company without expecting you to entertain them or solve their problems. People who respect your opinions even when they disagree with you. People who celebrate your growth instead of trying to keep you stuck in old patterns. Setting loving boundaries becomes easier now because you have less tolerance for drama and more appreciation for peace. You might find yourself saying things like, "I prefer not to discuss that topic," or "I'm not available for that kind of conversation," or "I need to take care of myself right now." These aren't mean or selfish statements. They're honest and healthy ways of protecting your energy and maintaining your peace of mind. You might also notice that you're less interested in trying to fix other people's problems or manage their emotions. You can still be caring and supportive without taking on responsibility for everyone else's happiness. You can listen without trying to solve. You can offer love without offering advice. You can be present without being responsible. This shift often feels strange at first, especially if you've spent years being the person everyone turns to for help. But it's actually a sign of healthy growth. You're learning to love people without rescuing them, to care without controlling, to support without sacrificing your own well-being. You might find that some people in your life don't understand these changes and might even try to make you feel guilty for setting boundaries. They might say things like, "You've changed," or "You're not as giving as you used to be." When this happens, you can remind yourself that changing and growing is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're not becoming less loving, you're becoming more discerning about how you express your love. The relationships that truly serve you will adjust to these new boundaries and will probably become even stronger and more authentic. The relationships that don't serve you will naturally become less prominent in your life, creating space for connections that truly nourish your soul. All of this relationship awareness and boundary setting leads to something even more beautiful: the opportunity to finally embrace your authentic self completely. For so many years, you might have worn different masks for different people, tried to be what others needed you to be, shaped yourself to fit into expectations that never quite felt right. But now you have the wisdom and the courage to be genuinely yourself. You know who you are beneath all the roles you've played. You know what you truly believe, what you actually enjoy, what makes you feel alive and authentic. And most importantly, you know that being yourself is not only acceptable but essential for your happiness and well-being. This authentic self might be different from who you thought you were supposed to be. You might discover that you're more creative than you realized, more spiritual than you expected, more adventurous than anyone imagined. You might find that you have interests and talents that you never had time to explore when you were busy meeting everyone else's expectations. Embracing your authentic self means giving yourself permission to like what you like, even if it's different from what's popular or expected. It means expressing your opinions honestly, even if they're not what people want to hear. It means pursuing activities that bring you joy, even if others don't understand their value. This authenticity also means accepting all parts of yourself, including the parts you might have tried to hide or change. Your sensitivity, your quirks, your imperfections, your unique way of seeing the world. These aren't flaws to be fixed. They're aspects of your authentic self to be celebrated and honored. You might find that being authentic means simplifying not just your external life, but your internal life too. Instead of trying to be everything to everyone, you can focus on being genuinely yourself with the people who matter most. Instead of trying to have opinions about everything, you can focus on what truly interests and concerns you. This authenticity often brings a kind of relief that you might not have expected. When you stop pretending to be someone you're not, when you stop trying to meet impossible standards, when you stop hiding parts of yourself, you can finally relax into who you actually are. This relaxation often brings more energy, more joy, more peace than you've felt in years. Being authentic also means trusting your own inner guidance about what's right for you. You've lived long enough to know yourself well. You've had enough experiences to recognize patterns, to understand what works for you and what doesn't. You can trust your instincts about people, situations, and choices in ways that might not have felt safe when you were younger and less experienced. This self-trust is one of the greatest gifts of this stage of life. You don't need to constantly seek approval from others or validation from external sources. You can check in with yourself, listen to your own wisdom, and make decisions based on what feels right for your life right now. As we come to the end of our time together, I want you to know that everything we've talked about today is available to you right now. You don't have to wait until you feel ready, or until circumstances are perfect, or until you've figured everything out. You can start exactly where you are, with exactly what you have, in exactly this moment. The journey of slowing down and embracing self-love and simplicity isn't about perfection. It's about intention. It's about paying attention to your own needs and desires. It's about making small, loving choices for yourself every day. Some days you'll remember to honor your natural rhythms and set healthy boundaries and be authentically yourself. Other days you might fall back into old patterns of rushing and people-pleasing and self-criticism, and that's perfectly normal and human and okay. What matters is that you keep coming back to love, keep coming back to yourself, keep choosing peace over productivity, presence over performance, authenticity over approval. Each time you make these choices, you're creating new neural pathways in your brain, new patterns in your life, new possibilities for joy and fulfillment. Your life is not winding down, it's opening up. This is your time to finally live in a way that feels true to who you are. This is your season for savoring instead of rushing, for being instead of doing, for receiving instead of only giving. You have earned this gentleness. You have earned this peace. You have earned this joy. I want to leave you with this truth. You are exactly where you need to be. Your life has been preparing you for this moment, for this awareness, for this opportunity to live differently. All your experiences, all your growth, all your wisdom has brought you to this place where you can finally choose yourself, love yourself, and honor yourself completely. So take a deep breath with me one more time. Feel yourself in this moment, in this beautiful life you've created. Know that you are loved, you are worthy, you are enough exactly as you are. And know that every day gives you new opportunities to slow down, to simplify, to love yourself more deeply. Your journey continues, my dear friend, and it's going to be beautiful.